Okay, so as you can see, this is a sketch, and I started with a green outline and I started filling in with the hair. So I started using the black color. Man, I'm going fast. Okay, so yeah, I've already covered the face, and now I'm adding some highlights to the whole thing. And then I kind of filled. So I like filling in the darker areas first, and then just at this stage I'm just color blocking. And once I've done the color blocking, now I like starting with the detail. So I tried out some brushes for the hair, and finally I kind of settled on this one brush which had these interesting texture, which made like a strand looking texture, and it looked nice. So yeah, so as you see, I'm using multiple shades of um, brown, and like varying degrees of black. And yeah, so that's what it boils down to. I still have some of those green outlines to give me a reference point, and then, well, there we go, we got rid of it. Now, so this was the trickiest part. So I want to give the shadow under the hair, which makes it seem like there is, you know, reflection or shadow being casted by the hair. But it, at the same time, I don't want it to be too smooth and airbrushy. So I kind of tried a few things, but then yeah, but then I moved on to the eye, and then I decided to come back to that a little later. Then, of course, eye is a very, you know, difficult topic in itself. It's just, it's so much detail is required there, you know. So I was like, okay, let's see how this goes, and I was doing it. A lot of correction here, a lot of, you know, painting and then deleting and then painting and then adding color and then removing. And like here, the eyebrow was way off from when I started, and then I had to correct it back. The eye was a little off in terms of the shape, and I had to put some shade in, soft line of the eye. It was interesting. At the moment, it looks like he's dabbed himself with some concealer and he hasn't evened it out yet. But I will eventually blend all of this in, and yeah, as you can see, I start blending it to soften the edges. Yeah, and there it comes. The shadows of the lip. Now, each part you could spend a lot of time on its own, and this was just meant to be like a quick sketch or like a quick paint study. So it's a color sketch almost, with the only place with a little detail or the illusion of detail is with the hair, because I'm using a sharp brush for that. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun doing this, experimenting with the new mixer brush, which was a nightmare to begin with. I mean, it's an amazing tool, don't get me wrong, but initially it's so weird to work with this. But if you want to achieve certain effects, painterly effects, then you gotta learn how to use this, because that's the only thing which will get you there exactly the way you want. So yeah, it took me a while to understand, but yeah, once I got the hang of it, it was quite fun actually. I like the I like the layers of eyes that came together. And the fact that I deleted the edge, went overboard with cleaning, then to recreate that, it was nice. Now, of course, there's a lot that can go into this to make it photorealistic, but obviously, I didn't want to make it photorealistic, and but at the same time, I didn't want it to be rough, too rough. Like I wanted some kind of like a smooth painterly quality to it rather than patchy texture. So, and at the same time, I'm taking liberty with the colors. These are not the colors that are in the original reference picture, so I am playing with the idea of uh, like a like a different color. The shirt is a different color in the reference picture. It's more blue than this, and but I liked it green because I think it went good with the yellow skin tone. And obviously the skin tones are much, they have much more red and blood in it, and I'm kind of going for this more pale, almost vampire like look for the skin tones. And yeah, it's nice. I do eventually add a little red in, but I mean not so much, not to the extent of the picture, but yeah, I do eventually dabble a little bit of red in it. My only concern at this time is that the lips are too pink, so maybe I'll do something about it later. Let's see. Okay, so this again is very tricky, the ear. So you make it and then like you delete it, and there's a lot of texturing here, and there's a lot of curves and nooks and crannies, and it just it's just fun to do, because there's a lot of. Now obviously you see here I overshot the design, and I kind of made it thinner. The ear was thinner than in the reference picture, so I went back and corrected it. And yeah, I'm still working on this forehead. And yeah, the problem is either it's becoming too smooth and it just doesn't seem like a paintbrush painting, or it's too blotchy, so it seemed like you know the artist didn't blend it well. So I'm kind of going back and forth and fixing that. You see, I've added a little bit of red to his cheek to give it a little bit of color and balance it um, with his lips, which I still think are too pink. So I think I'll do something about it later. I mean, I like the pink, but I think it's a little lighter than what too saturated. I mean, so again, he has blue eyes in the picture, and I kind of made his eyes green, almost the color of the shirt, but a little lighter. And yeah, so I finally went with this. So I'm gonna remove. Yeah, that's much better.